Can you explain your career path and how it led you to this interview?
One of, one of my big revelation was when I was in secondary 5 where I became the president of the school. And my job was to organize the activity program for the year. This experience was very crucial for me because it was then that I wanted to become a teacher because for my new love of daily planning.
What is the most important decision that you ever made, and why is it the most important one?
One of the best decisions I've taken was to go at the school of Sainte Marie because it opened me new doors. Since my mother worked there, I had some contacts with the teachers, and they gave me opportunities to become the president of the school, to be an actor in the play for 3 years, and then to become the coach of improvisation uh, the year later. This experience also led me to do mentoring. Those responsibilities give me a good sense of hardworking, teamwork, a sense of hope for the students I am helping in mentoring or coaching, for example, and a vital motivation for continuous learning.
Can you tell us about a work situation that you're particularly proud of?
When I was a camp counselor, one of the children lost her glasses. And since I just arrived at work, I didn't know what has happened, but I was told that I needed to find a solution. I then decided to do a search in the medieval style and brought them all together by saying, oh yeah, and then set the goal of the quest. When finally someone found the glasses, we did a small ceremony for the Grand Cavalier who merits a prize from the king, for example. Since it was during recreation time, I wasn't supposed to animate, but I adapted very rapidly to the situation.
Tell me about a time you faced conflict in a team. How did you handle it?
The first thing I try to do before facing a conflict is to find the origin of the conflict and weigh the goods and the bads of my behavior and his. Um, when I go listen to the person, I try to separate myself from who I am and what I've done. Therefore, I become more analytic of the situation rather than feeling attacked. Um, This is one of the most important tips my father ever gave me. You are not the doo-doo that you do. It helps me to find a better solution, to concentrate on a better change I can do, and to be calmer while doing it.
What is something that you would like to improve about your professional self?
I have a lot of difficulty for asking for help. I I like to help others, but I want to do everything by myself for the only reasons that I really wanted to be clear in my head. But I have to agree, it could be helpful to take some projects that have already been tested and worked. I try to work on my conservativeness by allowing myself to take those projects, even though I wouldn't have done it this way, and to give myself some flexibility to adapt to the situation by changing the document at my ease.
Can you tell us about two of your strengths that will be useful in this job and explain why?
Well, I am very interested in ideas. I really like to do a lot of learning so I can organize a line of thoughts and expose myself to new ideas. Therefore, for a course like art, plunging into history to find the meaningful work of the art historians of our time, for example, my personal favorite Camille Paglia, is an essential step for a complete course like art, for example. Second, I inherited the encouragement aura of my father because I am easily impressed. When I was a coach of improvisation, it took me so little to be mesmerized by their performance, and I took time to tell them afterwards.
What are you particularly interested in about this job?
Well, first of all, is to be in front of a public. When I was in high school or CEGEP, I was one of the rare ones who loved to do oral presentations. Then there is the planning part. Um, it is for me some intellectual candy to have to organize a line of thought on a year-long schedule. It also gives sense to your course because it is predicated on the fact that it will be necessary in their lives in a way that is often underestimated by the students, I think. For example, in art, it's not only a heritage of aesthetic visual persona that we have, it's also an heritage of technique and application of the genius of mankind. It is also an heritage of profound stories and mythological archetypal realities that were conceptualized by observing the human behavior. It is also a hallway to the sovereignty of the individual, his thoughts, his emotions, his opinions. Um, Art is more profound than we think, and I really want to orient my students in this way.
What can you tell us about our company?
Well, the School of Le Boisé is part of the Centre de Service Scolaire des Bois-Francs. It was created in 1998 and it controls 54 schools, including primary, secondary, professional, and adults, right? What is expected from the students is to be able to live together in a community where it is respectful at all time and place. What is expected from the teacher, however, is to be, in my estimation, a competent, patient, to be creative, to be pedagogue, to have a sense of trust between the students and the teacher. In brief, to give a good quality of learning. Pardon.
What are 3 values that you would like your future company to have and why?
Well, first of all, it would probably be fairness because I think you don't have to put the importance on a student more than another one, depending on their level of difficulty or their level of agreeableness that you have with them. Second, it is to be flexible, to be present at all time and place, to give opportunities to the students to become better. And then finally is to have a good relationship with them, which is probably one of the most important thing to do with a student.
What would you do if you were asked to give a new course in 3 days?
Well, the first thing that I would do is to check out the program and to check out the deadlines so I can parcel out the chapters for the semester. Um, it's only when I will place the evaluations on the schedule that I would then start to organize my first classes.
How do you feel that you can contribute to this company in a way no one else can?
Well, I think I could provide some encouragement that is, in my estimation, a little lacking. Boys are dropping off school at immense rates, and I really want to learn them that the lack of their effort is contributing of the suffering of their being and the people around them, and that is important. This is why school is important, so that you can take care of others, and this is what I think I can bring to them.
And finally, do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I have some questions actually. What is a typical day at work at Le Boisé? Um, what is the salary when starting as a new teacher full time? And finally, what are the services given to the students other than teaching?